One of the tools we're using is called the Pioneer Spectrum, and it looks at pioneering across the whole breadth of things. So pioneer replicators might take something that's already happening and replicate it in a slightly different context. And the spectrum works right the way through replicators, adapters, innovators and activists. And so many pioneers are present at each stage, but one of the things that's been great in time-honoured church has been helping them see how during COVID, by taking their services into the online space, many time-honoured ministers have been pioneer replicators. They've literally replicated their service into the online space. Some have taken it a bit further and adapted it. And one of the really exciting things about COVID has been that it shows that the church can change and does change when it wants to change. And that's created a really nice link between pioneering and fresh expressions. The other kind of really key bit for me is, how do our established leaders make space for pioneering? I like to use the word accommodate. How do you accommodate, give a home to people who come up with the wacky ideas? And that really helps build the link between time-honoured and fresh expressions. It helps with accountability, it helps with all of those sorts of things, but it really helps the church also begin to reimagine the possibilities. So I think there's a much greater link between time-honoured and fresh expressions than people think there is, and particularly in this county there always has been. People would immediately kind of go to speak boldly as the key theme for the Northern Mission Centre, but the reality is good mission is about joining in with what God's already doing. The theological term is the Missio Dei, finding out what God's doing active and working in your community. And so the breadth of the vision refresh with the 4 areas of, for example, tread gently or care deeply, they offer tremendous opportunities to get involved with your community in different ways and to find out where God is active and working already, perhaps beyond the church. We've got really active groups across Cumbria in food shares or addressing different sorts of needs in different sorts of communities. We've got hugely active climate change groups in Cumbria. The question for me often is it doesn't really matter if the church is leading on that or joining in with that. The question is to find out what's your role in that and how do you work out your faith in those spaces in a real and meaningful way. We don't always have to hold all the power in the conversation. We don't always have to be the ones that facilitate the groups or make the groups happen. We can join in with what God's already doing. And Vision Refresh really gives us the opportunity to see beyond our own boundaries and join in with what's already happening. What we've been able to do really well in Cumbria is work on this alignment. So ALTP, our authorised local training pathway, is a 1-year programme, and that's really useful for people who are just beginning to explore what their ministry may be. And so people can become recognised worship leaders or whatever through that process at their local level. And then you can do ALTP Plus, and one of the options for ALTP Plus is to become an authorised pioneer through this course, or a worship leader, or a pastoral worker. And that kind of alignment has been great at, this perceived gap between time-honoured and fresh expressions. It's just not as broad as we think it is. There's opportunities for everybody.